What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. All right, so New York City Mayor Eric Adams has been indicted on 5 federal charges related to bribery, wire fraud, conspiracy, and soliciting campaign contributions from foreign nationals, according to a 57-page indictment unsealed Thursday morning. The indictment outlines alleged illegal actions stretching back to 2014, from when he was Brooklyn Borough president. Quote, for nearly a decade, Adams sought and accepted improper valuable benefits, such as luxury international travel, including from wealthy foreign business people and at least one Turkish government official seeking to gain influence over him, the indictment reads. Adams allegedly sought and accepted illegal nominee or straw contributions by smuggling their contributions to Adams' campaign throughout the straw donors and actors from overseas. Adams defeated federal laws that served to prevent foreign influence on U.S. elections, according to the indictment. So this goes well before he became New York mayor. Adams says that he won't resign. During a press conference today, the Democratic mayor vowed to continue his mayoral duties and urged New Yorkers to wait to make any judgments until after he presents his defense. U.S. Attorney Damian Williams says Adams engaged in long-running corruption involving bribes from foreign nationals dating back nearly a decade. Williams also said that the investigation continues and more people, quote, will be held accountable. The indictment caps off an extraordinary few weeks in New York City as federal investigators have honed in on members of Adams' inner circle, producing a drumbeat of raids, subpoenas, and high-level resignations. So I just want to put this out there. In the event that Adam resigns, now he said that he won't, but I mean, he has to try to put up a posture of defiance and that he's innocent and he's going to fight these charges and it's a witch hunt against him, whatever. But if he were to resign, he would be immediately replaced by a man named Jermaine Williams, who is the city's public advocate. Now, this is Jermaine Williams. This is him right here, right? Just give me 1 second here, trying to find out more information about him. Yeah, so if Adams, were to resign, he would be immediately replaced by Jermaine Williams, the city's public advocate. Then I think if he became mayor or acting mayor, I guess his title would be, he would then have 3 days to call a special election. And then in that special election, New York would choose their next mayor. I've seen some noise about former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo maybe running for New York. I'm gonna tell you something right now. After the debacles of de Blasio and this dude, if New York elects Cuomo as their next mayor, then New Yorkers should be stripped of their ability to vote forever. In a statement today, Jermaine Williams did not explicitly call for Adams to step down, but said, quote, it is federal officials' obligation to prove their case. It is the mayor's obligation to prove to New Yorkers that there is a real plan and path to govern the city effectively and regain trust. And it's time to show that plan is rapidly running out. Now look, this is my thing on this, right? I'm not going to get on here and defend Eric Adams, really, because this dude has First of all, I think it needs to be remembered. He was a Republican. I think people forget that. He's a Republican. Now, I'm not saying he's a bad guy because he was Republican, but he's an opportunist. He was a Republican up until a couple of years or so before he ran, what was it, in 2021 when he became mayor? He changed parties affiliated with a different party, or party affiliation, because he knew that he couldn't advance in New York City and really New York State without doing so. As I said before, New York is one of the most democratic states in the nation, alongside, states like California and trying to think of the most democratic. California, Vermont, on a statewide presidential, well, not even presidential, but statewide, I would even put, Illinois, but in particular, the Chicago, Cook County area, Michigan, but Detroit. I mean, there's areas of all these states that are Republican, but really New York and California are the big enchiladas, right? So you couldn't advance being Republican. And also, there's a lot of black people that live in New York. Not to say that they don't elect Republicans. I mean, Rudy Giuliani was mayor, but really, as far as achieving real power, and I've said this before, you only can go but so far in the Republican Party as a black man. They'll use you for certain things. America is not a racist country. They'll let you do that, but one thing on some of the Democrats, at least they give a little token power to black people. But so he did it for political reasons. And you could argue that in the past, and really not too long ago, he has implemented policies as a mayor that have been, you could argue, anti-black. And until he switched his tune, this dude was a very, very receptive and part of the plot to flood New York with immigration. Okay? It wasn't until it got to the point where citizens was looking at him, pointing the finger like, hey, man, what's going on? Why are you not mentioning all this gang activity? Why are you not mentioning all these crimes against New Yorkers about these immigrants, right? Then all of a sudden, he becomes totally he's against the federal overflowing of immigrants in New York as a sanctuary city. By the way, I do want to mention this. I believe he's guilty of all this shit. Okay? I believe he's guilty of all this shit. And I'm not going to get on here advocating for this clown. I think he's guilty of all of it. But I've also believed that the majority of politicians are guilty of this crap. And I do believe that even though he's guilty of all this, I don't think it's just a coincidence that as soon as he finally began speaking out about the immigration, the overflow immigration in that city, and speaking out against it, all of a sudden here comes the indictments. Yeah, I don't think that's a coincidence. And by the way, and I'm going to go there with this shit. I'm going to go there. I do think that there is something to the Democratic standard bearer. Y'all know who I'm talking about. The person running for president on a Democratic ticket being a former prosecutor. And I have an issue with that too. We're supposed to be so behind this woman. She's a prosecutor. Knowing how unjust the criminal injustice system are for our people, we are advocating look, usually that's how you know she's not one of us. Not really. Usually when we get in law seeing the injustices are done upon brothers and sisters on a daily basis because of the criminal injustice system, usually we tend to be motivated to get into law to help. We usually defense attorneys because we know how fucked up the system is. The fact that she became a prosecutor tells you she's not one of us. That tells you she's not one of us. And I wouldn't put it past her, along with Uncle Grandpa Joe. They have weaponized the federal government to go after anybody in any capacity that's not on plan with Project Flood Black Cities with you know who. I do believe that. Now, I'm not saying that to take up for him. But, yeah, I do think there's something fishy going on with this. You got this going on. You got the Diddy situation going on. And once again, I'm not saying that they're innocent for the slow people that's listening. I'm just saying, some a little bit odd about this. And why is it always only brothers? Brothers. Brothers. Even when you look at the people that they're trying to bring to justice in his inner circle. Black. Seems sort of reminiscent of somebody else who has a prosecutor out west in California, who seemed to target black people. It's like, that truancy law. Don't get me wrong. There should be truancy laws. There should be penalties against parents who aren't involved in their children's lives and allowing them to miss school and not in being a force, a positive force in their kids and making sure they go to school to get an education so they can make better opportunity for themselves in the future. But when you go after the mother of a sick child who's battling sickle cell anemia, constantly in pain, the schools know what's going on, but you use her and punish this woman, even though y'all know why her kid wasn't going to school, to the point where you stressed that kid out so much that she had a stroke, and you cackle on TV and say that nothing. Oh, I didn't know anything. That nobody went to jail. Let me stop. Let me get back to Adams. So anyway, miss me with the champion of New York crap, Eric Adams. You were a pawn just like the rest of them. You know what I mean? Only thing is, you fell out of favor, and they always keep receipts on all these politicians just in case they get out of favor. Okay, you not with the program? We always investigate all you motherfuckers. When you turn against us, well, we got this right here for your ass. So, good luck in Rikers. But them charges they got, matter of fact, let me make sure. Did I read all the charges? I think I did. Yep. So at the end of the day, that's a wrap for him. Also wondering if Elliot Spitzer may run. He was a former governor of New York. He had to resign because of a sex scandal. Another indication of how New Yorkers don't need the right to vote sometimes, man. But, maybe Elliot Spitzer, maybe Andrew Yang might run in this race. Who knows? The special election coming up. But, yeah, man. This dude, he done. He done. I don't feel no sympathy for him. This ain't like we talking about some advocate, that's been a champion for our communities. Nah, man. Nah. So that's all I got to say about it, man. Tell me what you guys think.